fighting the opioid epidemic, dining out for a cause, and how you can help make a Lexington park even better. All this and more on this week's edition of Lexington Now. I'm Neil Noah, and this is Lexington Now for the week of September 2nd, 2019. September is National Recovery Month, and numerous organizations from all walks of life are coming together to step up efforts to fight the opioid epidemic.
One of my first initiatives, even before I was sworn in as mayor, was the initiative we're talking about today, the opioid epidemic. As we all know, this opioid addiction is affecting all demographics in our community. It's detrimental to our labor force, it diverts funding from much needed initiatives, and most important, it is literally a matter of life and death. It is taking folks who are in the prime of their lives away from us. I have devoted a staff member full-time to find an effective way to help Lexington and Fayette County citizens escape opioid addiction. Andrea James, who's here today, has met with many groups all over town and outside of Fayette County to study the challenges our community faces and the resources we have in place already to address them. By the end of this year, we will stand up a multidisciplinary work group to help guide a sustainable approach to slowing down this substance use disorder in Lexington. Lexington is coming together to slow down this epidemic. As we move into September and National Recovery Month, we find that our community is united in its determination to find answers to this crisis.
First off, I want to give a huge shout out to the mayor. This dynamic room of people are here today as a result of her vision. She's setting an example for mayors and city leaders across our state of how an administrative office in a city hall can make an impact on a very important issue. This is our Recovery Awareness Month brochure. It features events happening across the city, and be sure to pick one up today. These resources, these events will also be listed on recoverymonth.gov, so that's the national site. We've submitted all of the events and waiting for approval for them to be published, but you can also find these events and events that other people may be doing across the city on recoverymonth.gov. The events that you see listed include some special events happening as part of Recovery Awareness Month, but they also include some ongoing and recurring events, such as recovery-oriented events happening at Voices of Hope. Is there anyone here from Voices of Hope today? They have a lot of different events happening on a regular basis, and you'll see at least one listed on the brochure. And also harm reduction programs at the health department. And we've got a couple of people from the health department. Raise your hand. We've got Kevin and John Moses here from the health department, and their syringe exchange program is listed there, and they have other resources as well.
So last year, under the guidance of Commissioner Ford and Amy, they put together a 4-year SAMHSA grant that allocated $2 million to provide over $1 million worth of Narcan naloxone to the community, which we work in partnership with the Fayette County Health Department to distribute to at-risk communities and organizations. That's what we've been doing for the last 5 months. Also, there's we do outreach in the community, and also there's a Good Samaritan campaign that we've initiated in the last month to encourage people to call 911 in the event of an overdose.
I'd like to invite our community to come together on Sunday, September 5th from 2:30 to 3:30 at the Beaumont Library. where we will gather in the large meeting room for an event called Let's Talk About Opioids, led by Andrea James, Special Projects Coordinator from the Mayor's Office. She will share updates of her work and will then lead attendees in small group discussions to share ideas of how our community and the League of Women Voters might move these efforts forward.
We have been the medication-assisted treatment or medication-assisted recovery program the longest in the state since 1975, and we are going to do a webinar on September 16th at noon to talk about what is a medication-assisted recovery, who qualifies, and most of all, we really want to talk about the hope that we provide for people that are struggling with opioid addiction and really trying to see that there are opportunities to work through these challenges and to have long-term successful recovery.
2019 marks the 10th year for AVOL, AIDS Volunteers of Lexington's annual Dining Out for Life fundraiser to fight the spread of HIV/AIDS. Mayor Gorton joined other officials for the announcement.
AVOL is kicking off our 10th annual Dining Out for Life in support of HIV prevention, testing for those at risk, and for the provision of housing and support services for citizens in our community living with HIV, and for our collective efforts to end HIV in Kentucky for good. Isn't it about time?
Yes.
Today we want to share that anyone in our community can dine out at any of our 56 very generous restaurant partners all day on Thursday, September 12th, and 25% of your bill will be donated to AVOL and the fight to end HIV. So we're going to eat. We're going to eat some more, breakfast, lunch, dinner, after dinner. You don't need a coupon or you don't have to say a secret password in order for it to count. Just show up and dine. We are so grateful to our local restaurant partners, and I know that Lexingtonians like to eat, so we've made giving very easy for you.
I am thrilled to join John, AVOL staff, and numerous volunteers for the upcoming Dining Out for Life event happening all across the city. It is a wonderful event, having participated in the eating in the past. I can attest to how wonderful it is. Since 2009, this event has been successful in providing education to the public while also raising funds for the very important work of AVOL. I'm looking forward to having a great meal at one of the 56 participating restaurants on September 12th and supporting the work of AVOL.
The Office of Grants and Special Programs is the administrator of many of AVOL's housing programs. Miracles happen through these programs, which allow safe and affordable housing opportunities for people living with HIV, whether that be in mainstream rental housing or in partnership with a number of different providers, or at Solomon House, a community residence for folks who have more extensive medical issues.
Make no mistake, housing is healthcare. I'll say that again, housing is healthcare. It is critical and a critical component of the work we do together. We can see how stable, affordable housing opportunities change lives and improve health. AVOL Kentucky has worked to lead this community forward, providing direction not only in preventing the further spread of HIV, but also creating these affordable, stable living environments for people who are medically fragile. On a personal note, and I asked John if I should be a little offended that I got invited to the press conference about eating. It turns out this is something I'm very good at. And this is one of my favorite events of the year. I really enjoy it. How could it be any easier to support the important work of an important organization than to just go out to lunch with friends and breakfast and dinner and maybe a late night snack too.
Dine Out for Life!
When we come back, we'll tell you how you can make one of the city's most popular parks even better.
Geocaching is an outdoor activity. It seems simple. You use GPS coordinates to find boxes hidden in secret places around the world, but it may take some puzzle solving to get there. Think of it as an adventure in which you have the task of going out and exploring the world to find hidden treasure. Live Green Lexington has hidden 12 geocaches around the city. Each cache represents a theme about water quality. You will have the chance to learn more about stormwater, pollinator gardens, Reforest the Bluegrass, and the Citizens Environmental Academy. Each hidden cache contains a unique token that you can take and keep. Collect all 12 and you can win a prize. Ready to learn more about the ways we keep our water clean and healthy? Visit lexingtonky.gov/geocaching and start your journey.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. The City of Lexington is looking for volunteers to help in the construction of the new state-of-the-art playground at Shillito Park. The original structure, built 26 years ago, has been torn down and will be replaced, and you can help. Here's how.
Looking for a volunteer opportunity that will benefit the community for years to come? Look no further. The Shillito Community Build is seeking those ages 10 and up to help complete work on the new Shillito playground. It will replace the previous playground built by volunteers 26 years ago. A variety of talent and experience is needed, from first aid volunteers to people with skilled trade backgrounds, as well as those with food service experience and anyone who possesses organizational and leadership abilities. A great family-friendly and fun outing for those who want to leave a positive mark on Lexington while making new friends and being part of a great community activity. The build will take place September 18th through September 22nd. Please register by visiting lexingtonky.gov/parks. And we'll see you at Shillito Park.
Lexington's popular city-sponsored Festive Ales, featuring local and regional craft breweries, is this Friday on Main Street. Here's what to know if you go.
So Festive Ales is going to be in the pavilion again this year. We're expanding it a little bit more. We're going to have more brands than we've ever had, and we're also adding a VIP feature, which will be at Limestone Hall in the historic courthouse on the top floor. September 6th of this year, and it'll come with 20 tastings and a commemorative cup. The event this year is being presented by Visit Lex and Brewgrass Trail, so we're very excited to have them on board, and they're helping kind of further promote this whole craft beer movement. But at the VIP event that we're introducing this year, we'll add another feature for people who are wanting a little bit more craft beer excitement. It'll start at 5 o'clock at Limestone Hall, top floor of the historic courthouse, and this will be a beer and food pairing. So we'll have 8 breweries with a specialty or limited edition or experimental brew that will be paired with a small bite and probably some beer cheese. And those are all announced on the website, and they're not just Lexington, they're from all over Kentucky. So we're really excited about that. That will continue until about 6:30, and then that lounge is open to VIP ticket holders throughout the night, private bathrooms, air conditioning, seating, and then we'll have a live band and a bar up there as well after the general admission event is over. So we'll have several specialty brews, we'll have several one-offs, we'll have a couple of limited editions and experimental brews. Some brands are bringing you the favorites that you love. Some of them are bringing some things that they're wanting to kind of get out there a little bit more. So each brand in the general admission area will have 3 beers available on tap. And you'll have a tasting glass you'll get to go around and sample with. The nice thing about this event is that you get 20 tastings with your ticket. So you can come and try a dark beer if you're not a dark fan, and then not be obligated to this full, 12 ounce or 16 ounce pour. So if you're a fan of a brewery, but you want to try to catch something on the front end, this is a great place to do it. And I think it's nice because you can pop from a cider to an amber to a log, back and forth, and get the full spectrum and full gamut without fully committing to a large drink. And just really kind of get to explore everything. We'll have some food trucks out this year. We're going to have some live music. It's going to be a lot of fun. So they took a year off last year. They had formerly been working with a couple of different groups to produce the event. And events, it's one of those things where it gets to a certain point, it gets too big, there's too many moving parts, that sometimes you just need to take a break. You need to step back, reevaluate. We've introduced some new things this year, and we were excited to partner with them on producing this festival. There were a lot of breweries here locally, but there's a lot across Kentucky. And so I think it was an event that people loved. You know, almost 2,000 people have come out every year previously. So we took it and we took the core values of the event and what has always worked well. And then we added some new things, online ticket sales. Ticket sales were released earlier than normal. We totally revamped the website. We're going to do a bunch of pop-up events at different locations, bars and breweries leading up to, where we'll have ticket giveaways and things like that. So we've not changed the event in its, you know, normal structure, but we've just added things to make it easier to access, easier to find out about, and hopefully bring more people out to experience Kentucky craft beer. Things like this happening downtown, I mean, it's great because it gets people down here. You know, all of the breweries are not located in downtown, so it helps bring some folks who may be already down here mingling around, gets them in front of some of these places that maybe aren't in Lexington or aren't down here in this general vicinity. You know, again, it kind of gets people in front of craft beer when they might not otherwise be interested, or if they're a regular at one spot, maybe they get to try something else that they've not had before, and then they become a regular at a second spot or a third spot, maybe 10 spots. If you're from Lexington, you know, you've probably done the circuit here, but maybe you've not tried some Louisville beers or Paducah or Winchester. You know, we've got folks coming from all over, so it gives them an opportunity to get in front of those folks, and vice versa. Maybe we have some guests coming from Louisville who maybe haven't tried all the Lexington breweries. So I think it's a great opportunity to get people down here to see all that downtown Lexington has going on. So it's all regional with a heavy emphasis on Kentucky beer. You know, the Brewgrass Trail and Visit Lex have done a great job of really promoting this craft beer scene. They just put out their new printed passport for Central Kentucky, and we're really excited to have them involved in the event and for them to help present this series. You know, it's exciting because we do have so many great local breweries in Kentucky, and we're excited that almost all of them are participating, and we've got more and more coming on board every day. But there are some regional beers that people love, and we want to include them too, that aren't necessarily Kentucky based. So it'll be a heavy emphasis on Kentucky beer, but there are still going to be some regional folks that you know and love that, you know, everybody wants to have. We have a new website, lexfestiveales.com. It's got all the information of who's participating, where they're coming from. As they announce what they're bringing, we'll have that on there as well. And you can get all the details on how to get tickets, what it includes, VIP, brands that are involved, and everything else.
City offices will be closed on Labor Day in observance of the holiday, and there is no scheduled meeting coverage this week on Lex TV. But when there is, you can watch it live on Channel 185 or on the city's live stream, or catch any archived meeting at lexingtonky.gov. Be sure to join us next week for several events, including the announcement of a new salt barn, Breeders' Cup returns to Lexington, and volunteer opportunities for new playground at Shiloh. That does it for this week, and as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For the staff and producers at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.